Here's another connection to 411. There's a fellow that's written a book about missing people in our parks. And, in fact, they've come out, Steve Danoon just did a thing on missing people in the parks, our national parks. And this has been going on for some time, but evidently it seems to be increasing. And now I would suggest maybe that the snatching of people may have everything to do with an alien, so-called fallen angel abduction, whatever it is, deep state, global deep state, doesn't really matter. What matters is these people, you can have a bunch of people even 10 feet from each other, and you turn around and one of them's gone, and there's no sign whatever of where they went or anything. And he's written several books, Missing 411. Just part of that overall mystery. Does this mean that a whole bunch of people will be missing on 4/11? The Triumphal. Now that would be the date, right, for the entry, Steve?
Yeah.
On the calendar.
Triumphal. Yeah, the Triumphal entry date is really. We celebrate Palm Sunday. On our calendars, we would look at Sunday, April. What would that be? The 9th or the 10th? But the date is really the 11th or the 12th, based on the Hebrew calendar. So it's the same week. We're basically right there within a day or two. But it turns out to be 4/11 is Palm Sunday.
Wow.
The day of the Triumphal entry.
I'm Edna, Keith's mother. I was visiting my parents in Ritter, Oregon, and so I said, "Oh, where's your brother?" And he said, "Oh, he went around the barn." Then we went back to find him, and he wasn't there.
According to Oregon State Police, there are 41 missing children in Oregon.
It's an unknown what happened to these people. It extends far beyond just kids.
Hundreds of people vanished from our national parks and forests under very unusual but very similar circumstances.
In a lot of these cases, search and rescue, or the volunteers searching people, have already gone over certain areas, not once, not twice, but even dozens of times. And then the child is found there, maybe a year, maybe a few years later.
I think that I'm actually sitting here holding my son. But this is what I have left of him.
We're talking about a very large, even worldwide collective of information here.
And we turned around, and here was this little toddler walking out of the fog with absolutely no clothes on at all.
Well, it's troubling. I got members of my search and rescue that aren't sleeping too well.
If you have areas that you don't even know there's missing people, it makes it really difficult to reinvestigate when more information comes.
Some of these situations are so unusual you have to think beyond the bounds of what's normal.
One of the reports says, well, the reason why you didn't find any DNA or blood or anything on Jared's clothing is because either he or something removed his clothing. There's just too much. There are too many questions that don't have answers.
When did the FBI get involved? The family's been accused of drug use and of sleeping with certain people.
Everybody thinks, well, I'll come up to a polygraph. Go ahead. Go right on ahead. I have nothing to hide.
Everybody wants an answer. Hopefully someday we'll come up with one.
Does the National Park Service keep a list of missing people in their parks?
You can have a bunch of people even 10 feet from each other, and you turn around and one of them's gone, and there's no sign whatever of where they went or anything. And he's written several books, Missing 4/11. Just part of that overall mystery. Does this mean that a whole bunch of people will be missing on 4/11?